This video is sponsored by Grin&Gain. Sign up for early access at grin&gain.com to track, share, and get insights into your workout routines. In this video, I will be going over the 2 push day workout routines that I use for strength, hypertrophy, and training calisthenics skills like the planche and handstand. I'll be talking about why I do each exercise and the proper form and techniques. For push day 1, we have a focus on the bench press and improving the strength of this powerlifting movement. Then on push day 2, we focus more on the overhead press and work on our bent arm calisthenic strength with weighted dips. Now for push day 1, the first exercise that we do to train our calisthenic skills are the Planche Leans. With this exercise, you want to make sure your core is tight, your arms are straight, and that your scapulas are protracted. For the position of the hands, you want your hands to either be neutral in relation to your body or supinated to put less pressure on the wrists. Right now, my max hold time for the tucked planche is less than 10 seconds, so I primarily focus on Planche Leans to get more hold time for strengthening the muscles that hold this position until I can get a longer tucked planche. If this variation is too easy for you, you can use assisted tucked planches or planche holds using bands. You can also do the variations of the planche holds without the bands once you're strong enough. The next exercise that we do after doing the planche holds would be the bench press. For the bench press, I primarily train it as a strength building movement more than a bodybuilding movement. To focus more on strength, I do 4 sets of 4 to 6 reps. Some things to focus on with this movement is to try and keep the bar as level as possible. To get into the bench press position, you want to have an arched back with your glutes and upper back in contact with the bench so that you can provide some leg drive if necessary. For the grip, the way I find my grip is by aligning my ring finger with the slit in the barbell. During the movement, you want your legs and upper back to remain tense to keep your body as stable as possible. After the bench press, we will now be doing the single arm overhead press for the shoulders. For this exercise, you want your arms to be 45 degrees from the sagittal plane or 45 degrees from the side of your body. For this movement, I like to train it for hypertrophy, so I keep it within a rep range of 8 to 10 reps. You can either do these seated or standing, but I prefer to do these seated for more stability. For this exercise, you want the dumbbell to gently lower to touch the shoulders at the bottom position. Then you push the weight, accelerating it up until your arms are straight and your joints are stacked. The next exercise is the lying tricep extensions. For this exercise, I would recommend a rep range of between 10 to 12 reps. To perform this exercise, you want to lie down on a bench and lower the weight, hinging about the elbow joint. Then push the weight back up until your forearms and triceps are flush at the elbows. You don't want to raise your arms all the way back up to where it's completely vertical, since it adds some unnecessary movement that doesn't really target the triceps. Now we're going to focus on the side delts with the lateral raises for 10 to 15 reps. To perform lateral raise, for this exercise, you want to keep your legs shoulder width apart and you want to lean slightly forward at the hips. Try to keep the arms as straight as possible and lift your arms until your hands reach above your shoulder. The reason I lean forward is so that the side delts get a bit more of an extra stretch at the bottom of the position, since the hands don't stop at the hips. After doing the lateral raises, we will do the single arm cable crossover for 8 to 12 reps. This exercise is great for hypertrophy and isolating each side of the chest. To perform this exercise, you want to start with the cable at a high position and have a nice stable base with your feet wide apart in an athletic position with one foot in front of the other. You then want to grip the handle and position your hand and arm as if you're doing a dip. Then you push the cable across your body until the arm is fully extended, then slowly bring the weight back to the starting position. If you've never performed this exercise before, you will likely feel your chest get really sore the day after performing this exercise for the first time. To work the triceps for a second time, this time we'll be doing cable tricep kickbacks for 12 to 15 reps. For this exercise, you want to focus on having the arm hinge about the elbow joint and push the cable back until your hand reaches behind your back to really target the lateral head of the tricep. As for the other arm, you can grip onto the cable machine for some extra stability. Some mistakes that I've had with this exercise is that I got my shoulders a bit too involved with this movement. And to correct this, you want to pivot back to a lower weight and keep your arms close to your body to ensure you are pushing the cable back at the elbow rather than using your shoulders. After cable tricep extensions, we'll target the upper abs with cable crunches for 12 to 15 reps. For this exercise, you want to be in a kneeling position and you want to ideally have a longer cable rope attachment. For the grip, you want to firmly grip the rope so that your hands are at the sides of your head. During the concentric part of the exercise, you want to make sure that you're leaning a bit forward and that you are curving your back during this movement. At the bottom position, I like to go all the way down until my elbows or my chin touch the ground. Also, try not to kiss the dirty ground when doing this exercise. I actually found myself doing that a few times. Just don't do that. Try not to kiss the ground, please. Now for some extra bicep work and to target the brachialis for wider biceps, we will be doing crossbody hammer curls for about 8 to 12 reps. To perform this exercise, I actually don't alternate each side, but instead I work on one side at a time to minimize momentum. To target the brachialis part of the bicep, you want to start with a weight at your side, then curl the weight across your body while maintaining a pronated grip. For the last ab exercise, we'll be targeting the lower abs by doing hanging leg raises for 10 to 15 reps. Some variations you can do alternatively if this exercise is too easy or too difficult are the hanging knee raise or the toes to bar. For this exercise, you want to be as slow and controlled as possible, where it is just enough to where you're not swinging to minimize momentum. You want to have a wide chin-up grip to minimize the grip strength needed when doing this exercise. If your forearms do get tired, I like to switch the grip to a pronated grip if needed. Now for push day 2, the calisthenic movement we will be training is the handstand. For this exercise, the current progression that I'm on are handstand kick-ups, where I'm trying to work on the balance of the handstand. Some tips that I can give for handstands are to grip the floor so that your fingers are engaged and almost the entire palm of your hand is in contact with the ground. This is to allow more of your body weight to be distributed across a wider surface area so that your fingers have some control over your balance. You want to engage the shoulders by pressing into the ground like at the top of an overhead press for stability. And you want to engage the glutes and abs so that the joints of your body are stacked on top of each other. Some things that I like to visualize when trying to balance the handstand are to imagine your center of mass at the belly button and to make micro adjustments to your balance from that reference point. The next exercise I will be doing is the overhead press for 4 sets of 4 to 8 reps. I usually do these seated for more stability, but occasionally I do these standing if I have to. This exercise primarily targets the front delts. Some things to focus on with this exercise is to have a grip that is just slightly more than shoulder width apart. At the bottom of this position, you want to have the bar a few inches from your upper chest. Then you push up until your arms are fully extended, focusing on the front delts with some support from the triceps. After the overhead press, we'll be doing weighted dips, which is a calisthenics movement for the chest. For this exercise, we'll aim for 6 to 8 reps. Some things to focus on in this movement is keeping the glutes and lower body engaged and stable, and leaning forward to emphasize the chest over the triceps. For the grip, make sure that your wrist is strong and not bending, and align the handles with the palms of your hand. If you cannot do weighted dips for 6 to 8 reps, do body weight or assisted dips instead. To focus on the side delts, instead of dumbbell lateral raises, we'll be doing cable lateral raises for 12 to 15 reps. To perform this exercise, you want the cable to start at a position just below arm's length from shoulder height. This is so that you can get a good stretch at the starting position. From there, you want to lift until your hands reach above your shoulders, just like a dumbbell lateral raise. I highly recommend this exercise because it can feel very effective because the cable provides a consistent resistance curve and it is great for training the side delts to failure. After cable lateral raises, we'll be doing tricep pull downs. For this exercise, we will be doing 10 to 12 reps. To perform this exercise, you want to focus on pulling the cable down and about the elbow joint with your arms close to your body. I also like to rock back at the bottom of the exercise to ensure a more consistent resistance curve where the exercise remains difficult at the bottom. For some upper chest work, we'll be doing the dumbbell incline bench press for 8 to 10 reps. For this exercise, it's almost the same cues as a flat bench press, but you want to have the bench angled from 30 to 45 degrees. This is so that the bench is just angled enough to where your upper chest is worked without using too much support from your front delts. After doing the incline bench press, we'll be repeating the exercises from push day 1 in the order of lying tricep extensions, cable crunches, crossbody hammer curls, and hanging leg raises to finish off push day 2. Now those were my push day workout routines that I use for strength, hypertrophy, and calisthenics skills. If you want to see my full pull day workout routine, you can find that on my YouTube channel. If you're interested in my leg day routines, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel so that you don't miss out on that. Now thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.